It tried to walk like a man, but it wasn't a man. I don't know what it was. It wore a mask, I think, because it knew if we saw its face. You could tell it wasn't a man. He could talk, but it wasn't right. It was like the way a dog makes a noise. It was high-pitched, squeaky, like when a scared dog barks. I can't remember it now. It was a long time ago. He knew the names of my mother and my father. He said that he knew what they dreamed, and that they knew he was called the Rake. The Rake told me that I would miss him, and I asked him why. It said that I would find out in a long, long time. I don't remember how the Rake left. I think about it now, but it's more like a dream. But I know it was real. I know that he was real. And I know that I will see him again.
Okay, right off the bat, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this mask. Now, we're going to have a medic on team, and medics wear the black mask, like the mask I had. So, to, avoid any confusion on who's who, I'm just going to wear this mask. So, today we are looking for the Rake, one of my favorite cryptids of all time. It's great. Now, we do hunts for the Rake all the time, and I'm always part of them. And the main thing that we usually experience on these hunts is, in fact, just noises. Nothing too crazy. I don't expect anything, but this week's been going pretty good so far, so maybe we'll get some spoopies. Maybe we get some spoopies. So yeah, it should be a very fun video. The research portion, anyway, as usual, will be a little bit boring. Because nobody likes the research portion of the videos. Name one person. I don't think there's any. Yes, so we are going to have a large amount today. And, of course, we are going to be wearing our uniforms. This is the first time. I'm going to make this clear. So, I'm a senior researcher, which means I get a longer lab coat. A junior researcher would get a shorter lab coat. They'd probably go down to, the thighs, but this goes down to my knees. So yeah, and just regular researchers have one that just goes down to maybe just basically thing. Also, this mask is a lot more breathable, and I can see out of it. I'll have my glasses on under this, so it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna look a little weird because the mask's gonna be like this, but I'll be able to see. So before we get into the research, I just want to get some things. New equipment. That's key here. New equipment. I'm talking riot shields, bulletproof vests, tanks. We got a fucking tank. Dude, we got a fucking tank. Yes, this video is going to be very fun. The action, you know what I mean, the actual hunt. And then so if you're new to these types of videos and you haven't seen the other one, first we go over research, and then we go over our equipment, and then we go on the hunt. These videos can range anywhere between a half hour long to 4 hours long. Usually I split them up into parts if they're 4 hours long. That way I release content over a slower amount of time, and gives you guys something to look forward to. And sorry, just got a notification. Yeah, so it just gives you guys something to look forward to. I get to enjoy my content and, that sort of thing. Another reason I want this video to be edited a lot and then, have the funny shit. Because I was watching some of my previous videos about, like how I had my editing where I would insert joke here, insert it on screen. I don't know if I'll insert it, but I would have letter here, letter here. I don't know. It was funny to me. I might start redoing that. But yeah. And another thing I want to stop doing is just dragging out these intros. So let's just get right into the one more thing. When I look like this, I wanted to clear this up because I don't know if you guys thought I was like showing off or whatever. It's not because I'm showing off, it's because these eye holes are on the side, so if I want to get a better view of something, I have to turn my head like this or like that. So when I'm going like this all the time, it's not showing off the mask, it's just so I can see. You would understand it if it was like, first person view type thing. So when I do this and I'm looking at it, at the paper, it's so I can see. Also, this beat gets annoying because this issue, see this issue? Yeah. So, let's get into the reading. I actually know this whole thing by heart, but I'm just going to read in case I mess up. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange, human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact as most online written accounts of the creature mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in rural New York, once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told their stories with the counters of the creature of unknown origin. Emotions range from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to almost like a childlike sensibility of playfulness and curiosity. The RAKE is the name of a creature, with very little information about it. It is described in the original reports as a naked man or large hairless dog of some sort, with a body position that seemed disturbing, unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. The RAKE's appearance in video is through Everyman Hybrid. Now, I highly recommend you guys check out Everyman Hybrid. Just like how I recommend you guys check out the Marble Hornets and these, because these got the RAKE popularity and got these creatures where I know them. So I got a lot of information from these. Where it is captured on film twice and is heard at least once. And relatives to 004, the RAKE is summed to be a proxy. Okay, I'm gonna get off that. A miner's log, mariners. I always get that messed up. I see miners. A mariner's log, 1691. Pay attention to these dates. He came to me in this sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the RAKE. The next known account happened in the 1880s, where a Spanish journal entry was described it as having hollow eyes. Following 1964 suicide note, where the author claims his or her suicide is due to the reports repeated encounters with the RAKE, which apparently, sorry guys, I can't see well out of these, so I'm trying to this is different from the normal story, I'm just kind of summing it up, which apparently stalks him slash her slash Oreo. We're gender friendly on this channel ish. We're really not. You're a fucking boy or girl, choose one. You don't get to be both. You don't get to be anything else. You're either a fucking boy or a girl. Anyway, she writes with fear, Linny, for I have prayed for you, for he spoke your name. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna cut here because I need to get a drink of water, and then I'm gonna tell. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna tell my stories of the RAKE. None of these stories are in order, by the way, because I've seen a number of times. So yeah. Where should I begin? Okay. So I'm with Xander, right? This was when Xander was fine. He wasn't, how he is now. But I'm with Xander, and I think, no, Chris wasn't there. Yeah, Chris wasn't there. Never mind. So, yeah, Chris wasn't there. But there's these two other kids. Their names are Sammy and Fadi. That's their real names. Sammy and Fadi. And we were sitting in the backyard, and we were doing something with like Nerf guns. I don't know. We were probably doing CHO stuff. Or CHO. It wasn't too good back then, but anyway, so we were doing like some stuff, and Sammy, or no, it was Fadi. So Fadi goes and he like turns and says, "Guys, do you see that?" And we all see it, and it was sitting on like a log, like this, and it was like, and it just was like watching us for like a good 30 minutes. And then we were just like kind of looking at it. We didn't know what it was at first. We thought it was like maybe like a tarp over something. And we're like, wow, that kind of looks like the rake. And then it went like this, and it went. And then at that point, we knew it was the fucking rake, and we started freaking out. And then it just got up and walked off into like the woodsy part. Because the way Xander's backyard was set up, it was like there's like a fence here, like if this, like, let's say there'd be a fence back here, right? And then this part would be like woodsy, like a woodsy area, like in back. And then like the way I'm facing would be like towards the house, sort of thing. So yeah. And like over the fence, it was just like over the fence. So it walked off, and then another time I was with my friend Chris, and he saw the rake also, and he saw it on the roof. So we go check it out, and we can't find anything. So then we see it looking at us through the attic window, and we freaked out, and we told his grandma. Now, this is the thing that scares me to this very day. His grandma did not say, "Oh, that's your imagination." His grandma said, "Never say that name in this house again. That is a demon. That is something we don't mess with." And she got up and left. Think about that. Let that sit in for a minute. We told her that we saw the rake, and she said, "That is a name you don't say. That thing is a demon, and we don't mess with it." At that point, we were scared. Because that was the first adult that actually took it seriously. So Chris tells his mom, and his mom just says, "Don't say that name. Don't say it." And he was like, "Okay." And, yeah. So that kind of scared us a little bit. When it was scary because all the other adults they just didn't care if we brought it up. But that was kind of the point where it was like, oh my god, like, wow. Anyway, I'm going to put on a documentary for you guys, like right now. It's about 5 minutes. And then after that, after that we will go into our hunt plan, and then we'll go over some equipment. Sounds like a good idea.
In the summer of 2003, a strange humanoid creature that was thought to be nothing more than an old tale was sighted in northeastern America. After an initial media frenzy, there was a news blackout, and almost all of the accounts of the story were kept from the public. The only stories that were told were were those that circulated online by the people affected. One in particular was especially unsettling. On the 4th of July 2003, Sue, her husband Bob, and their daughter Clara were asleep in their home in North America. At around 4 a.m., Sue woke up to find something sat at the foot of her bed. Initially, she thought it was a stray animal. However, when the creature moved and she saw its full appearance, she realized that this was no animal that she had ever seen before, and it did not belong in her house. After waking her husband, it fled from the room and down the hall, heading straight for their daughter's room. They chased it and entered the room. As they turned on the lights, they saw the creature standing over and watching Clara. After turning and looking them dead in the eye, the ravaged creature ran down the stairs and disappeared into the night. Sue and Bob rushed over to their daughter, but she'd been attacked. She looked at her parents and said, "He's the rake." They rushed her to the hospital, but en route, the father lost control of the car and it plunged into the lake. Him and Clara were killed, but Sue managed to escape. After these tragic events, Sue became convinced that the rake was somehow responsible for her family's death, and would not stop until she found out what was in her home that night. She was astonished to find so many people had been affected by similar stories of a dog-like humanoid who had entered their homes. Sue decided to set up a recorder beside her bed to see if the rake returned when she was sleeping. She did this for many weeks, but nothing significant was caught. Then one night, she heard a voice that sounded strangely familiar. It came to her that this was the same sound she subconsciously heard that woke her up on that fateful night when the rake first entered her family's house. It seemed the rake had returned one more time. Sue did not see the rake that night and has not been visited since, but is convinced the rake is responsible for ruining her life and lives in fear of waking up only to see it has returned. She wants others to learn from her encounter and make sure they lock all their doors and windows, as this creature could do as much damage to others as it's done to her. All of the stories of people encountering this being are filled with emotion and terror, and whatever had disturbed them so much as to share their story is described the same in every account. Human-like with sharp teeth and claws that makes the sound of a wild animal, although has a hairless muscular body that is hunched and contorted in a disturbing way. It only appears at night and hides in people's homes, often standing at the end of their beds as they sleep, and flees as soon as the person wakes. Why it does this or where it comes from hasn't been discovered yet, although some believe it hides in dense forests. This came about when an image was taken by a man who left a camp in a forest in Louisiana. When he returned, the camera had been destroyed, however the memory card was intact and this image was recovered. After being featured on the news, it was a relief for those who had been visited by the rake to know that a photo had been released that backed up their stories. Then, as the years went by, only a handful of encounters were reported, no more than 2 or 3 a year, around the United States. But in April of 2011, something very interesting happened. Whilst conducting a routine telescopic camera search of the sewers in Liverpool, the Northwest Water Company spotted something unusual lurking around down there on 3 separate occasions. Not only does this creature's appearance match the many previous sightings, but also suggests that the rake may not be individual to the US and also resides in the United Kingdom. Is it one single creature that travels around that is responsible for the encounters that have taken place over the years, or are there more than one? Very little information is known about the rake as it is not often seen, and as more people talk of it, the less common the sightings have become. Since its last encounter in the sewers in 2011, the rake has not been seen since, leaving behind only the tales and the rare sightings of this mysterious being.
Another thing I like to bring up when talking about the rake, when people, don't believe me, is the fact that, so, the more and more it is caught on camera, the less and less the sightings, become. Now, another thing is if this was a person or it was multiple, people, dressing up as this creature and, walking around and, you know what I mean? Why, they would be getting popular, right? So therefore they would want, this publicity. They would like to see all this. But every time it's cited, it's not cited again for a few months, years. It hasn't, I haven't seen it in, like, 2 years. Now, why it's not being cited, I have no idea. I don't know. But I thought I would add that in there, and, you know what time it is? You want to know what time it is? It's going over our stuff time. So, if you're new to this channel, this stuff right here, what we go over all our gear before we go on, so you guys know what we're using. If you guys want to, you do this at home too. So yeah. Also the hunt plan. So I want to say the hunt plan right now. The plan right now is okay. So the plan now is basically to take the tank out. We don't really have a solid foolproof plan yet, but that always changes. See, the thing about making plans on hunts is that they always change because of the fact that either something goes wrong, some people don't show up, and by some people I mean everybody, and that, all that. So yeah, you know what I mean. And, some people don't show up, so then, therefore, the plan changes, or, something that we were trying to make doesn't work out too well, and then the plan changes. So, we don't really have a foolproof plan right now, but the basis of it is to go where because I've been hearing some noises, and we're gonna go in that general direction and hopefully find something. So yeah, hopefully we can find something. The plan may change later when I speak to Dr. JC. So yeah. Hey guys, we're gonna pause the research portion here, and we're gonna go over some equipment. Because of the fact that we're going to do some research in our research lab. Number one, this is a tank radio. It goes inside the tank. I'm going to show you guys the tank last. Those are our riot shields. Some of them have nails in them. Just an extra bonus. Here's another riot shield. And of course, that's the tank. Now this is a bitch to put together. So probably we're not going to make more of these. But, yeah, I wish I could do one of those. Guys, we literally just got here because, we ate our MRE. We didn't have any water because we're dumb, so we didn't bring it to eat it. And, yeah, so that's our tank over there. We just pulled up. There's an MTF here. And we're waiting for it to get dark out because, as you can see, it's not dark out in the slightest. So we're waiting for it to get dark. We might be going around a little bit. Might be going down a couple more streets with the tank. The wheels are kind of falling off at the moment. So yeah. We don't know what we're doing with the tank yet. Or I might even bring it back to base. Anyway, so yeah. Sorry, So we have an MTF right here. Well, do whatever it is you do. Secure that area or something. I'm just gonna... That's just a shield MTF. That's why he's blue, not white. So yeah, I'll get back to you now, or in a minute when it starts to get a little bit darker out, or we could even call up Monday and do some stuff. But okay, what up, guys? So right now we are looking.
My grandma's asking me what's going on right now.
Just tell her we're doing the hunt right now. So anyway.
Hell no.
Okay.
No shit.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, guys. Anyway, we are walking down the street. I got my riot shield. So, yeah, I'm undercover right now as a shield man because, you know, reasons. So I'm just gonna put this. Give me a second. I gotta. So this way, you guys get like a first-person type thing. Let's go. Ow! So right now we're going to investigate this school where we've heard some RAKE noises. We're on foot right now because we don't want to mess with the tank. Okay, school is right here. School is right over here. School is right over here. We're going through here. Okay, I'm taking. Shield person goes first. Oh. Hope you guys can see some stuff. So we did hear some 003 noises coming from this area. Take that position up there. Go. So yeah, hope you're enjoying the video. Now, reason why we're here is because I legit thought I was hearing some stuff coming from, like, you know, this area. Oh my god. I wouldn't be surprised. I took a walk out here one day, you know, just hitting my jewel, and smoking a little bit of weed. I'm not saying that, I'm just telling you the real story, you know. Anyway, so I came out here, and I was hitting my jewel, and I don't know, I thought I saw something walk across this field.
Down there. Better be careful.
So yeah. So for me, it looks like that. So if the shield is in the way, you know why. Oh, I thought I heard. No, go in there, go in there. Go in there, go in there. Huh? Okay, guys, I have my shield up right now. No idea who the fuck that was. Go forward, go, this way, this way. Dude, you guys, did you hear that? Oh, that was me. I'm making right calls. Okay. Dude, I want to go over there. There's something telling us to go over here, but I want to go over here.
That gate was locked.
Yeah, I know it was. Hey, you go first. Huh? Hey guys, it's gonna be dark for a second. Go. Dude, what the fuck? I think I see something over there. What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
Oh shit, that's in there.
Fuck. Huh? Why is this? I don't know. I think they just, when they move stuff around, because you know how lazy the school system is. I don't know, it looked interesting. I should actually keep my shield up. I can't see that well either, guys, so hopefully we just hear some noises. There is?
No, there's nothing. Just the dirt.
Go check the corner.
I'll look at Make the call again.
What? Again, guys, that was me. I'm gonna tell you guys it's me. If I make a call. So, you know. Huh? I'm gonna do another call, guys. What?
Ow!
I hear hissing. I don't know if that's 001 or not. Okay, guys, so right now it's just me and 1860, and we are just walking around. Because again, I thought I heard something. What the fuck? I think I see something walking over there. See that thing walking? See how it's like hunched over and walking? I don't know if you. Oh, it is. It's a person.
Look, you can see the clothes. Skateboard.
Oh, I thought there was. Yeah, there are people over here. Huh?
Over here.
We're checking all corners. That's like the main strategy for us. Yeah, I didn't think there's anything down here. Yeah, I don't think there is.
Before we go down,
Dude, there's something beyond the school. I don't know. I think there's like a little woodsy area beyond this field, beyond this school. And we might want to go check that out tonight, if possible. Woodsy. Now? Well, let's check over in this area. Okay, I'm gonna cut video here. So right now we're back. Nothing really happened. Nothing, you know, really happened at all. We kind of just walked around, and I think there's one part, I don't know if I was recording at that point, but I'm pretty sure I was, where we walk and we go over and we hear some noise, like something was trying to get us to go away, and being stupid as we were, we walked away, and when we got there, there was nothing there. Now, this could just be a coincidence, but what I think there was two rakes, and one of the rakes saw us going towards maybe another one and warned either the other one, or knowing that we were going to go towards that noise, and the other one climbed up the building and got out, because we did hear like some bang, like a bang right coming from that direction, and that's when we turned back. I don't know if the camera picked up, but I said, oh, let's go back, and yeah, and there was gone, and we wanted to go in this corner, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going in that corner. But yeah, so that was strange. Now lately I've been hearing like noises, and what's even creepier is I've been hearing knocking from inside the house. Now I don't know what's exactly going on. Not that, that's just the rabbit. I don't know what exactly is going on, but yeah. So where the fuck did the rabbit go? Oh. Jump scare warning. But yeah, so that was an interesting thing. I didn't have everybody that I would have liked to have been there. We had a plan going, and the plan was all to meet up at Helmich Park with the tank. But the tank wheels kept falling off, and it just wasn't a good situation, and we couldn't cross the streets because, you know, you got to go down hills and over those, you know, like the little bump things. I don't know why they put them there, but, you know, you have to go over that, and the wheels on the front couldn't take it, and they were breaking off, and we didn't want to get there with the tank half destroyed, like, oh, here's your tank, but, yeah. But yeah, so that did not go as planned, but I did have an MTF come over here, and it was just the two of us. See, the original plan was to go over and pick up Dr. T and like 2 MTFs, a medic, and go over to Ryan's house, of course, and grab Ryan, grab Nabil, because Nabil loves rakes. He loves to go on hunts for the rake. So grab Nabil, possibly Anthony, but the two of them aren't done getting along. And then all of us head out. And now another reason why we didn't go is because, like, I don't like that area anymore. It's not a safe area to be in anymore. And we didn't have a lot of weapons going into the area. We would have once we got to Ryan's house, but you know, it just not good. So we're gonna wait until maybe like part 2 or part 3 to go over there. But like I said, this, like, the fall, that's like rake season, honestly. So yeah. Anyway, wow, 4 minutes already. Okay, so I'll get back to you in the next clip. Okay, I just want to add this note in. Whenever I watch a YouTube video and they're doing stuff like this, I don't know if it's just me, but I, like, go through the process of waiting days to record clip after clip, and I can just imagine, I can't even imagine what they have to go through, and I literally just imagine them just sitting at home trying to go to sleep, or, like, what I do, just walking around and, like, oh, I gotta get this video uploaded.
Not much is known about the rake. This particular entity is rarely encountered. There is very little documentation available for describing it. This video is a compilation of what I was capable of gathering. There are a few well-known accounts regarding the rake. Unfortunately, we do not get to hear much other than these accounts and the little information they can offer us. But it is definitely a starting point for learning about the rake. We need to start somewhere, so here it is. Most of the following research was done in collaboration by a group of individuals with vested interests. These interests are largely based on the fact that they themselves were survivors of direct encounters with the rake. Now here's a compilation of various experiences these survivors found. The first is from a mariner's log, and it is dated 1691. It says, "He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the rake." Now this implies some sort of communication between the rake and the mariner, and that the rake somehow convinced, or maybe even forced the mariner out of wherever he was and to return to England. The next is a journal entry, and it's actually translated from Spanish. It's dated 1880. It says, "I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me.
his wet hand, I will not sleep, his voice, and then the rest of the text was unintelligible. Now, another account they found was actually from a suicide note, which was dated 1964. This note said, "As I prepare to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him, for once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke and saw his form, and once again I awoke and heard his voice and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what I might next awake to experience. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye." Now, this note was found in a wooden box. Found in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose. There was also 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. This letter said, "Dearest Linny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name." Finally, here's the main account from one of the actual survivors, one of the actual researchers who compiled the various experiences. This account is from a direct witness. It is from 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him I thought he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly, his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for a half second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man, or a large hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while. And it was just looking at my husband. The creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hallway, leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over, about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the rake." My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughters to the hospital. They did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. he knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen this creature we now refer to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believe to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the 2nd week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleeping while blurring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. Even so, this still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me. Beyond these accounts and the compilation of these experiences, there is very little information regarding the Rake, except for a few other things. The first is a strange will that was left by a woman named Miss Elizabeth Bellow. Now, she left behind a video, and in her will she had it stated explicitly that her family's inheritance not be released until they saw this video in its entirety. And she also declared that this video become a matter of public record, so the video was publicized online. The video describes her experience with this entity.
He knew the names of my mother and my father. He said that he knew what they dreamed, and that they knew he was called the Rake.
I'm just going to go ahead and put the link to it in the description. I really suggest watching it because it is pretty offsetting. But it has the potential to provide some more information regarding what the Rake is and how it behaves. On a disturbing note, as of October 28th, 2011, which is the time her entire family first viewed this video, 5 of Miss Bellow's relatives have passed away. There is one more potential connection to consider. The Rake may have some sort of connection to the Slender Man, or the Slender Man may have some sort of connection to the Rake. The hypothesis here comes from Sigma radiation. Sigma radiation is a strange energy signature that was found in the bloodstream of victims of the Rake. This very same energy signature was found in a cloth left behind at the scene of one of Slender Man's victims. This energy signature has never in history been encountered before. In fact, radiation might be a misnomer, because it isn't radiation as we know it. The people who labeled it simply needed to give this energy signature a label, so they called it Sigma radiation. Beyond this, there is not much known about this relationship or this connection between the Slender Man and the Rake. But it is definitely something that needs to be kept in mind and probably will need further research and investigation. So, as you can see, we currently have very little to go on. The connections to Slenderman seem to be the most recent data gathered about the Rake. Perhaps further investigation into this relationship will yield useful information. However, anyone doing any such investigation should remain cautious. We do not know exactly how or why these beings behave the way that they do. But if we seek to prevent further dangers and prevent further victimization, then we must push forward in our exploration of this phenomenon.
Guys, we're wrapping up this part. This is part 1 of the Hunt 3. Anyway, right now, we're going over our plan for part 2. So, in part 2, so the plan right now is we have 3 teams. Teams 1 through 3. Team 1 is going to be going to the parks and stuff, right? That'll be cameras 1 through 2. Team 2 will be going down the streets. That'll be cameras 3 through 4. And then Team 3 is kind of just like a response team. So basically, if anything goes wrong, Team 3 will come out there with the tank and all that, and they'll just, like, you know, back us up if we need it. And they're more like a containment unit than anything. Team 3 will be compressed of Dr. JC, Dr. Thomas, MTF 1806, and MTF 1807. Team 1 will be compressed of MTF 1860 and MTF 1858. Team 2 will be compressed of me, Dr. Miller, and MTF 1859. And MTF 1861. So that's quite a few people going on this hunt. Jew-Man might even make an appearance. So I would suggest staying tuned for Jew-Man, because he's funny as fuck, and if he comes with us, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, so that's our plan right now. We'll go over it more in part 2. So yeah, more over it in part 2. This will be a really good hunt and everything. We plan on doing a camp out for this hunt too, so like we did for the Slender Man thing with the tent, plan on doing that shit again. Anyway, I'll see you guys in part 2 of the Hunt 3. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far, and Creepster 108.